Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Ryan. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or reviews, topics, commentaries, tier lists, randomness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, Shark's Tale from 2004. I thought this film kind of sucked. Watching and I did think this film kind of sucked, because the year before this you had Finding Nemo, which was, I thought, a better looking film, had a lot more heart to it, had a bit more of, I wouldn't say seriousness, but it's still a kid's film, but felt more like a movie, and this felt more like a lame product. And you watch the two, it's like, man, it's a world of difference. The voices of Will Smith, Jack Black, Renée Zellweger, Robert De Niro, Martin Scorsese, among many others, Angelina Jolie, Peter Falk, Columbo himself. Long story short, Robert De Niro is the Don in a type of Godfather way. He's got two sons, they're all great white sharks. Jack Black is a vegan shark, and sounds like he's trying to sound similar to Curly from the Three Stooges. And he's very different. He cares for animals. People don't like him and make fun of him for that. Robert De Niro's trying to get his son to toughen up. Well, that leads to another. Jack Black and his brother, the two sharks are out there. One gets killed by an anchor. Will Smith, who's his fish, who's that full of attitude at the car wash, well, in this case, whale wash. He wants to make it big, and he's tired of being a loser, and he sees his opportunity to go, oh yeah, I killed the shark, I'm the shark slayer. And so Robert De Niro hears about this and wants revenge. Jack Black tries to help Will Smith's character. You have the seductress fish character trying to mess with Will Smith, voiced by Angelina Jolie. You have the nice fish, played by Renée Zellweger, who likes Will Smith's character but hasn't said anything yet. Martin Scorsese voices a puffer fish who worked a bit for Robert De Niro's character and is also owner of the whale wash, and ultimately does work with Will Smith's character. As I'm watching this, you know, there are times for me that I get bored out of a film. I'm just writing shit down, just so my mind doesn't wander into the fucking freeway, get smacked in the face with a 8-ton truck. We have the Jaws theme. Katie Couric is known as Katie Current. This film is filled with pop culture references, a shitload of puns upon puns upon puns, recognizable music, working at the car wash, yeah, or I like big butts and I cannot lie. References the Gladiator. Someone says the line, "Are you not entertained?" In fact, Will Smith's character says that. Or him doing the MC Hammer dance. There's literal stars on their Walk of Fame, and they're named Muscle Crowe. Instead of Russell Crowe, it's Muscle Crowe. Instead of the Gap store, it's called the Gup. Instead of a pawn shop, it's a prawn shop. Turtle wax is literally turtles waxing. Jellyfish, because of, I guess, this whole thing, their voice Rastafarians. Peter Falk. Like, this is Peter Falk. This is the guy who was Columbo. And you got him voicing a leopard shark who farts while talking to Robert De Niro. And the fart bubbles come up and stink up the joint and freak out these killer whales who make these big and one passes out because it's too stinky. I mean, at the end when everything gets fine and dandy and now there's a car wash, but it's also for sharks because I guess what, sharks are not going to eat any more animals now? Is that what the whole jibe is? Or are they just going to pick a lottery for sacrifice? I don't know. Are all the sharks going to be vegans as well now? And they have lines like Martin Scorsese talking to Robert De Niro, trying to do this slap, and says, yeah, a lot of great whites can't do it, yo. Instead of a lot of whites can't do it, a lot of great whites can't do it, yo. Instead of I pimped your ride, they're cleaning up a body of a shark. I pimped your hide. Or Jack Black and Will Smith and their cohorts are doing this dance, and then these prawns who, or whatever the fuck they were that Jack Black helped earlier, they do a dance and they said, you got served. That's what I'm talking about. There is no fucking story. There's no fucking plot. It's goddamn shallow shit. I like the year before, Pixar had a film like Finding Nemo that has a lot more heart and soul to it. And then a year later, you get this bullshit. Will Smith is laying on the attitude thick, and it's... I mean... I can still watch Will Smith movies like Independence Day and the Bad Boys films. My opinion of him as a person has changed because of the Oscar stuff. I'm like, you're not really much of a tough dude as I thought you were, because Jada Pinkett got you, I guess, toilet trained and all sorts of training. Might as well have a collar and a leash and just give it to her. Maybe take your balls out of her purse and sew them back on, Will. Then maybe people will give you a bit more respect. Nowadays, not much. Not much. The way he acted, the way he handled it, the way he continues to handle it, not confronting the issue, which is your wife who slept with your son's best friend in your own bed and is now controlling everything you do, and everyone knows it's her and you still won't say anything. I did, you love the girl, but she loves Tupac, who's dead, more than you. And everyone can see it except you, even the chickens that my neighbors have. They literally heard what I said and they voiced their displeasure of you. And then Will Smith just laying on the attitude thick. Oh, she don't get a freak on, y'all. Will Smith being very, very Will Smithy. And just to the point of just, oh my god, man. Oh, it's funny because he did an MC Hammer dance. Oh, it's funny because he said, are you entertained? Because a lot of kids are going to know a Gladiator reference. But obviously they do stuff for the adults to get the adults that bring their kids in. That's a lot of these movies. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I didn't. Let me repeat that. I get that. A lot of times, you know, people wonder why do they reference something that's, you know, R-rated, is because parents bring their kids in. Okay, the parents will get these jokes, and then the kids will get these other jokes. The parents will get the Gladiator and Godfather stuff, but the kids will get the, ooh, the fart joke. It's stinky. Yeah, this movie smells like fucking dookie. Thankfully, the film is short and shallow. That's really the gist of the review. This movie is short and shallow. Jack Black, like I said, a bit weird. He's trying to sound like Curly from the Three Stooges. Of course, if you look up reviews, there's some people interpreting this as not just him being vegan, but him wanting to come out of the closet because he's looked at as different and more sensitive, and if people find out, they'll judge me, and my father won't want me anymore, as in throw me out of the family, and people looked into those depths and those platitudes. You do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. Because I don't think this movie deserves that kind of deep thoughts by Jack Handy. I really don't. Just a lot of just awful puns, and this song's in it is recognizable, and a story that just isn't that interesting, isn't that funny. I really have no reason to like Will Smith's character. It just comes off as a pompous ass. Or it just comes off as annoying. Easily one of Will Smith's most annoying characters. Even the finale where Robert De Niro's chasing Will Smith and De Niro's character gets caught, and then they let him out, and then, oh, everything's fine. Hey, look, your son's there and he loves you, and blah, blah, blah. And then everything's fine. I'm like, wow, that was easy. Almost anticlimactic. That was simple. Because like you say, they think he's the Shard Slayer, and then Jab Blast starts playing along, like, hey, you pretend to... Kind of like in Dragon Heart, when the Dragon and Dennis Quaid got this bit of, okay, I'm going to pretend to kill you, and you take the hit, and we're conning villages out of this. I'm a dragon hunter, you're the dragon that gets slayed. So, kind of similar here, where Will Smith is going to slay the Shard, and Jack Platt pretends to play dead. But that's a little bit of the film. When you look at the plot of it, it seems like this would be a lot bigger part of it, but it's not really. And like I said, it's pretty much... He goes to this meeting and really try to push the Godfather references, and... I don't know. Like I say, I'm sitting there going, I don't know what the fuck else to say. If you want to see Fish City with 8,000 puns, a pun every 3 seconds, you want to see Will Smith in full attitude mode, with no subtlety, you want to see the other characters being just fairly one-dimensional. Renée Zellweger pretty much worships the currents that Will Smith's fish swims in. There's no really... The slightest sense of heart, I guess, is Will Smith being proud of his dad, but then people made fun of who his dad was. His dad cleaned and worked at a whale wash for a living, so he doesn't want to feel like a loser anymore. I didn't even feel there was that much chemistry between Will Smith and Jack Black's characters to form a sincere bond. And like I said, it's too busy having fucking references. Do you get the You Got Served reference? Do you get the Pimp Your Hide reference? Do you get the Gladiator reference? Do you get all these references? It's funny because the octopus like the I Like Big Butts song. So that's funny. And why do you have to do Peter Falk dirty like that? Why do you have to have him be a shark? He's so old that he fucking farts and the bubbles make people gag and pass out. Why do you have to do that to Columbo, man? Why do you have to do that, Peter Falk? You did him dirty, movie. You did him dirty. I never thought I would hear Martin Scorsese, the director of Goodfellas, say, what was the line in the end? Lot the great white sharks can't do it, yo. After trying to show Robert De Niro certain... It's like the old guy trying to be hip. I'm with the kids. I'm hip with the kids, right? I'm like, Jesus Christ. Maybe Scorsese did because, hey, Robert De Niro's doing it, and I've never done anything like this before, and I'll do it for his kids or nephews or whoever it was. This is the reason why no one remembers fucking Shark Tale. Because it sucked. Like I said, it definitely is even worse of a comparison when Finding Nemo had just come out a year before, and just night and day. You know, much more shallow, much more of a, like I said, Finding Nemo was more of a movie. This was more of a product. Return this fucking product to the sender, please. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.